All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for ReZero Season 2, Episode 23.
The battle for the mansion commences.
Yes, and everyone is split up. We do have a lot of situations where people are either outmatched or having to adjust things a bit.
Trying persuasion checks on the fly just to see if they work.
Just to see, you know?
Yeah.
Wholesomeness buffs, you know, possibly DM, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. But Emilia has completed the second trial. She's about to start the third one. It's a big deal.
Yep.
Trials are completed.
And they can just go.
To be able to just go, yeah.
But we still have yet to see Roswaal versus Ram and Puck. Because we got that little, like, montage bit, you know, but we didn't really get to see it.
I think the point is that, at the very least, like, Ram and Puck are not having too much trouble.
I hope not, like, but at the same time, like, please let me see it. Like, the fact that we get to see Ram stand up to Roswaal like this.
Yeah.
That's huge.
It's
and the
huge.
fact that Puck is there to help out.
Yeah.
My body
so
is
excited.
ready. Like, just give it to me.
We've got a bunch of fights going on, though. Frederica is dealing with the Mob East user.
Yep.
We've got freaking boy. What's our boy's name? Garf.
Yeah.
Garfield, the fattest of cats, the chattest of boys,
the
bestest of lieutenants.
He made Elsa give a bit of a what face. Like, yeah. It's pretty impressive.
I don't give a what about you. Oh my god, I love Garfield so much. But Subaru's got Rem. It's Roswaal's room. Okay. This could be the iteration where everything works, nobody dies, and
no, there's nothing you need to say about it. Just it's definitely going to be what will happen. We just need to see exactly how it's going to happen.
Beatrice, I want you to come in clutch and save somebody.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
So badly. Yeah. So y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
That would have been awesome if it was. Oh. Maybe physics works differently here than in the modern world. Nice.
What?
All right. Yes. That's some good adventure stuff.
There you go. There you go.
Stock up on those.
But now you've got a raging
beast that's on fire.
Mob East, yeah.
Hey, there we go. Gravity. Oh no, we've set the house on fire.
Oh. Your pyromania has now,
This feels so much D&D.
Yeah.
Like, we'll use fire. Oh no, we burned the town down.
Yeah. Enormous, yeah, but it will spread. Shiva? It's the end of the world as we know it.
Okay. Is this like the whole show just being laid out in front of us?
I kind of feel like
out of context.
Oh.
Really? Oh.
あなたは
Yeah, good. First
私
question.
はその
お
あれよ身の毛もよだつほど恐ろしい魔女だからエキドナはあのねあの子あなたに会いたくないって3つ目の試練あなたの目にはどう映った
Right, what was your
たくさん
experience?
の悲しい世界を見たわあれは本当の未来なの起こりうる可能性ってとこに
Okay.
Of course. Yeah.
嫌な感じの未来ばっかり見せたのは間違いなくあの子の嫌がり
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
あんな風になる未来もあるだけどああならない未来もあるそれが分かれば大丈夫私はぐっと戦えるわすぐに折れちゃうんじゃないの一人だけだったらそうかもでも
But she's not.
私は一人ぼっちにはしてもら
They
えないの
won't let me.
そういうところ母親とは全然似てないえ私の母様のことよく知ってるけど話せないそういう約束だからもしかして泣いてるの泣いてなんかない私は泣かない泣く資格なんか今はないの泣くのに資格なんて振り返らないのが正解って言ったでしょ
Oh.
悪い子だわまっすぐ行きなさいそれで試練は終わり結界は開かれるわ
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Door's open.
Yeah. Oh. Did the snow get cast? No. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What the hell?
Wait a minute. No way.
誰なの
No way.
ここはエキドナのお墓の
That's Echidna.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
But we're not being shown the face. But it looked that.
No, that's definitely Echidna.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
If anything, might have been overestimating you. I haven't needed to transform yet.
Right. Exactly.
もう言われたじゃん早く立ってメイリー邪魔はしないでほしかったわ
Do I have to kill one of your mob beasts? Yeah, I know. I am crazy.
Yeah. That there is the craziest son of a bitch I have ever seen.
Wow.
I like that Elsa has someone she cares about.
Mm-hmm.
And is that going to be the end of the episode? No. Okay. All right.
No, it's
Okay,
okay, 30-minute episodes,
Yeah.
dude. We probably still got like 10 minutes to go.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Oh, jeez. Oh, oh.
And full transformation.
Ah, here we go.
Oh!
Jeez.
Oh!
嘘
Yeah, you're out of your
Fuck
depth.
this shit,
baby.
I'm out.
なんとかしてよ
てめえだって死ぬまで殺せば死ぬねえ
Yes.
受付
Oh, that's her secret.
昔から
Okay.
読むのは好きだからね
Oh, hell yes,
魔
yes.
女にもいたって話だその魔女が死んでんだぜて
Okay.
私の生まれた北方のグステコはとても寒い土地だったわ、
Mm.
私は捨て子でね盗んだり傷つけたりした日々を重ねてに盗みを働いて店の店主に取り押さえられ上着も下着も奪われてだけどたまたまガラス片を拾ったの
Oh, shit.
考えてそうしたわけじゃない
Yep.
ただ
Go
そ
for
れ
the
を相手
jugular.
の
Oh,
中
well,
に
belly
突き
works
刺して
too. Oh, okay. Okay, Jesus.
Oh my god.
Oh, let's
my
go,
God.
let's go!
And she regenerates so quickly, too. Uh-oh. Oh, shit.
Oh,
shit. Ah, the weakness.
What does she do? What does she choose? Oh!
Oh!
Oh! Oh, what?
Okay.
Oh my god!
Jeez, Garf is going in a biting battle against a vampire?
Oh my god. Dodge this. Yeah.
That actually could have, like, killed her, though?
I get it. Yep.
I mean, I suppose
She's still. Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
This
Let's
fight.
do
Yes.
this.
Oh.
No response to that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly. You
Okay.
betray your. Oh,
shit.
Shit. Oh.
あれだけ繰り返しても
Mm-hmm.
あれだけ触れていてもあなたは真意に気づいてもいない
Make things so much simpler, right?
Yeah, uh-huh.
この胸
Right.
まずにす
Oh, let's go, Ram.
ラムはロズワール
No
様
way. She's gonna say it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
愛しています
That shaking in his voice.
この後に及んで
ラムはただ本心を告げただけです
そんなはずがあるものか。私を愛する？何を言っている？憎き相手だ。君にとって故郷を滅ぼした原因に関わる男だ。
It.
俺
Wow.
がそんな安っぽい感情を信じる。復讐はどうする？同胞たちの魂に誓ったはずじゃないのか。
同胞たち
She's
に
not looking to the past?
気持ちはありますですが愛してしまったものは仕方ない
Let's kick his ass!
次に恋する女の子の味方だから
All right, you're
Don't ever
obfuscated
change,
vision. You're entrapped here.
Oh,
Oh,
nice,
brilliant,
nice.
Oh! Look up, bitch.
Yeah.
The Great Wolf is here.
Meow. And he's still in the cutesy form. I love it.
Oh, it's all an
Illusion.
illusion, of course. Yeah.
Oh!
Oh! Oh!
ラムにとって諸悪の根源はこれですから
Oh! Oh!
She got it!
The way his face is twisting up.
Yeah. This is his tie to the past.
Uh-huh.
And in some way, his look at the future. Throw it into the fire. Oh my god!
Yeah!
Ram! Yes!
Yeah!
Undo this.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Wow! Oh! How we just go
Holy
straight
shit.
to the credits from that?
Holy shit!
Oh no! Oh, Ram could be dead.
I think she is.
I mean,
'Cause that's
come
even-
on, Puck's there. Puck's there.
Like, this being the once all the way through doesn't necessarily mean that everyone's going to live.
I know.
Okay. So, all right. That episode.
I still can't get over Garf getting that close and then just biting, and she's like, "Fine, bitch, I'll bite back," and he's like, "I'll bite harder." And
like the fact that Garf is oh man, he is a mad lad getting into a biting contest with a vampire.
I love him so much
and doing pretty well, all things considered.
Well, like think about the fact that what we kind of know about him thus far is that he is a duty guy.
Yeah,
he wants to be locked in with a purpose, and then fulfill that purpose in a way that will make him feel like he's worth it, like he's important. And Subaru understands, because he has to at this point. Like this
Garf's 14. Yeah, he wants to help.
Yeah, he wants to be there and be helpful and be looked upon as someone who can be relied on for their strength. And his strength is ridiculous.
Yep,
as we've seen. But not only that, when it came down to it, Elsa's seduction, her in some ways, the way she kind of enraptures you into the fight of like, oh, you can have the best fight of your life if you go all out against me and stuff. But then once the sisters came in, I love how everything just clicked for him. Like he figured it out immediately. He's like, yeah, you guys are sisters, right? And he's like, and she's just like, how? Like, he's like, oh no, I recognize that look.
Yeah, I know the dynamic, and that ended up the fact that we got that kind of like extra dimensionality to Elsa before she died. I love, because one, it's a way to make us care about Meili or whatever her name is, the Mob Beast user, because it's like, oh, okay,
because she's not dead.
Right, she's not dead, but also the whole thing of a kid amongst the villagers was a Mob Beast user. It's like, okay, cool twist, but it didn't necessarily need to be there. It's kind of like the dog did it, right?
Right.
But the fact that she's connected to Elsa, that suddenly gives a whole new spin to it, right? It's something where, okay, now there's a reason for why she's here. It also adds to Elsa, because then there's someone that Elsa cares about, and we haven't really gotten anything as far as like characterization beyond being scary and wanting innards, from Elsa since like start of the show. Like,
she was more of a tool in the story to put up a very serious threat because she survived the encounter in season 1.
Exactly. Yeah, she did a very good job of being that sort of tool mechanic in the story, right? But that's kind of all she was.
Yeah. And so coming in here with Garf, where she almost maybe could sense, I have a very high likelihood of actually dying here. I'm going to share everything with this boy. Because in some ways, he's also providing something that maybe I've missed in a while.
Yeah, it almost feels like, now that we have context for how Elsa became the Bowel Hunter, I
have never heard that combination of specific dark things in a backstory combined together.
Yeah.
That one. Ooh.
Yeah, and it was very much one of those things of like, all right, we're going to use very specific phrasing in order to communicate what we need to communicate, but at the same time,
efficient way,
not saying specifically what happened. So like,
and we imply it. I think it's implied pretty clearly. There were 3 big elements, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. There's the blizzard,
right?
The fact that she was
attacked,
right? She was about to be sexually assaulted,
right? And
then the third thing is that because of the glass shard, she was able to kill the attacker. But in order to survive the blizzard, I think she tauntauned inside his guts and his belly and all that. That's what I think was implied. I can go back and look at it here, but I think what happened is that she was in a situation where she was about to die.
Right.
So she kills the guy. But in that moment, she realized how warm.
Right. She comes from a very cold, very, very cold place. Oh man. Oh man. Because at first I didn't make the connection of her actually taunting. I figured it was just something where, because it was really cold, and then all of a sudden she kills the guy, and then his innards are warm, that it basically created that mental connection of her wanting to hunt innards, basically, right? Become the Bowel Hunter, right? It was something that felt good in that whole situation that she was in, right?
Right.
But the idea of her taunting
that's yeah, it's not necessarily that it has to be that, but the other way to look at it is that this guy was going to assault her and violate her, but he stripped off all of her clothes,
right, and
he left her cold and naked, so she dressed herself her own way.
Yeah,
and that's
some dark poetic justice that he ended up directly, physically providing the clothes, shelter, whatever, the way that she would survive the blizzard.
It's really,
yeah.
Now, obviously, she could put her clothes back on.
Sure, unless they were, gone or I don't know,
torn off,
right,
and they were actually unusable,
right.
But I think the really just screwed up point of this is that she basically took a situation that was horrible,
right,
drew upon her own power, and made her own way of living out of it.
Right.
But then defined everything of her future on that one singular moment in her past.
Right.
This is something
which is a nice parallel to Roswaal. Yeah.
This is something that I've been noticing the show is just repeating over and over and over again. Every character in this story, and because I would say almost it's a meta thing, this is just a thing in a lot of anime because it's a good, powerful way to communicate
the backstory.
Attachment, is the idea of the backstory scene. Not even the backstory story, but like the moment that defined them forever. And Subaru and his story has always been about basically overcoming who you are and growing and learning and not being, stubborn enough to be stuck in the past with that specific way you saw yourself or your lack of self-worth. And
his whole journey with dying over and over again is kind of that crucible where he's forced to then either completely break, but face himself again and again, right? So it's not just a singular moment of rethink your existence. It's constantly.
Yeah, and then Roswaal is the ultimate failure of Subaru, basically.
Right.
He's immortal. Yep. He's lived for 400 plus years.
So his bad decisions and stubbornness and lack of desire to learn, he's never had to face it. It just gets multiplied by centuries. Yeah.
Yeah. So once someone comes up to him and says, "I love you," he cannot handle that because he's like, no. Right. It's been all this time that I've basically probably stewed in this weird mix of resentment, bitterness, and love, because like he definitely has this like connection for Echidna from that time they spent past, then. And
one of the things
that he hates the idea of her loving him.
Right.
Because it's like,
no. So I want to kind of get into this bit because in first season of ReZero, Ram and Roswaal's relationship always kind of wigged me out.
Yeah, it was a little creepy.
It was a bit creepy.
It was a bit creepy.
Because it's like, okay, she's a kid, basically, and you're some...
Yeah, and because...
really old entity and stuff.
Right. That's the weird thing, is that I think we knew, just subtly, that Roswaal did not... he was not what he appeared to be.
Right.
There was always something about him that was beyond... just the physical,
right?
Like he was a being that was
at the very least he was in close proximity to Beatrice, who we knew was super ancient, right? So at the very least, at the youngest that I thought of him, it was that he's like somehow the crazy prodigy that he doesn't have a family anymore. They're all gone somehow, and he has this
he's
estate
using
or
magic
something
to find ways to prolong his life.
Yeah,
some
maybe
multiplicative effect. In some way.
Or He's a crazy powerful wizard. So
he found some way.
Shit can get whacked, right?
Right.
But the whole thing with Ram, it's like, okay,
because it wasn't that way with Ram. That was the other thing.
And the reasoning behind it, I believe, was because he was helping her heal her horn, right?
Yeah, or there was something with mana.
Yeah,
in general,
right? And I believe it was the healing of the horn, and I think that's kind of why it felt creepy to me, is because it was the thing of he was giving her something basically that she regularly needed and could be very much a positive thing, but at the same time, it's like I don't know if they're...
Well, he was sus in general.
Right, yeah, and especially with how he was interacting with her. So it's like, okay,
but and he always did seem to have this idea of something that he wants that's bigger than just helping Emilia. Like he always seemed to have this just general thing of like, there's secrets I have. And it's like, well, of course, you're a powerful wizard, you have secrets.
Exactly.
But why are you talking to the audience about your secrets while you're like caressing your maid, you know?
Right. It was just one of those things where I was like,
So now
we get the reveal for it. So the idea, one of the things that I love about how this was handled, because having the young girl fall in love with the person who murdered her family and village and all of that stuff.
Well,
that's
indirectly. He was one of the people, you know, he was part of the witches cult, you know, that went there and trashed the place. But that's to put it lightly, that's messy. Right? That is an interesting kind of dynamic and relationship to get into. So I'm really glad that the order with how things were revealed was that from the very beginning, it's obvious that she loves him, and that it's not necessarily the most healthy thing, but it is. No, that's a thing, right? Yeah, because in a lot of ways, I feel like her desire to save him was magnified by the experiences she had over the course of these seasons.
Sure,
she interacted with Subaru, and in some ways got a little bit more empathetic.
Well, and
I was just gonna say she lost Rem, so in some ways her motivation might have simplified because now she doesn't have to worry about worrying about her sister.
Yeah, and given the fact that
she can do more risky things,
right? And given the fact that when her village was destroyed, a lot was taken from her specifically as well.
She lost her horn.
Right, she lost her horn, so it makes she's kind of carrying that scar, and it would make sense that then she would be a bit more sensitive to when she sees other people carrying different kinds of scars, right?
Sure.
And that's something that Roswaal definitely carries, right? Now, but the fact that we got basically the general vibe of, she likes Roswaal from the get-go, and it's complicated to say the least.
Right.
That made me a lot more prepared for the, surprise, he also was the one who was, like, instrumental in destroying her home and everything, right? That, I vastly prefer that than he's the one who destroyed her home, if that's how he had been like introduced. And then we get a reveal that she loves him. That would have been like
bit Stockholmy.
Right, exactly. And it's still Stockholmy, but
it is absolutely.
But we were gotten to accept the fact that she loves him, and then there's the added complication, right?
Right.
And then
one of the things that I just want to bring this up really quick. One of the things that I really like about this is that because in some ways she might have had the best opportunity for this, because slightly, this isn't entirely it, of course not, because I don't want to rob her of agency here, but because Rem is just gone, she has no memory of her and stuff like that, she's willing to take these risks.
Yes.
And sever his connection to his past. Because even if he is an awful person in a lot of ways, she's not saying that she excuses any of that. She's saying that I can't help but acknowledge the fact that I love you, and you are enslaved.
Yeah.
You are enslaved to the past. The least I can do to snap you out of this illusion you're under, spell, is just to burn this.
Right.
If I get hurt along the way, that's
I'm okay
fine.
with that. Yeah. And that was something that I really liked about how they handled her talking to him, because it was something of she was acknowledging the issues basically with the fact that she was in love with him, right? And he was of course trying to throw it all in her face of, you know, you're lying, you can't truly mean that, you know, etc., right? Because who knows? Maybe there's some part of him that actually feels awful for what he did to her village, and the fact that she must hate him.
Yeah.
Right. And the fact that she must hate him, maybe that's part of one of the things that keeps him warm at night, because then he's like, okay. Good. Right. I will get my, like, there is someone who despises me. I'll get my just desserts eventually, or, you know, something like that. Right.
Yeah.
But the fact that she truly is desiring to help him, it burns hotter than any flame. Right. Like there is nothing worse in his mind, because this love is something that is isn't selfish. And when she says that she loves him, it's like the coldest mirror, because now because he's looking at something that for all its warts, basically.
Yep.
She's acknowledging her feelings, right? That this is the situation, and that she genuinely cares about him.
It's tough to do, isn't it,
in
Roswaal?
spite of everything that he did to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's making that decision.
Mm-hmm.
Comparison to that, his love for Echidna, right?
Calling it such a cheap emotion. Maybe you need to talk to a therapist a bit, Roswaal,
Yeah.
because do you hate all love? Is yours
Right.
such a cheap emotion? Is
Or-
it what you have something special?
Right.
It's beyond love. It's servitude. It's devotion. It's loyalty.
Right. It almost seems like, you know, the only way to really show how it's more is to talk about it being something other than love.
I really love the idea that she had to probably like I'm guessing the reason, like I looked back just to see if the animation was there, but when she grabbed the book, she got like wounded in some way. So
Yeah.
he either struck her.
Right. I think, yeah, it was the, like,
He got into melee. She got
right.
into melee.
She
range,
got
I
into
think.
melee range. He thought that she was going to strike him,
So
right?
he
And so they did
strikes
the
her.
classic, like, they both strike at each other, except she wasn't going for him, she was going for the book.
Right. So he thought, oh my God, she landed a hit on me. I
Right.
felt it.
And then he's like, wait,
There's
hold
nothing
on.
there.
Yeah.
I was wondering,
Oh
and
my
this is
God.
something that is just fan canon, because I'm sure if I looked really closely, you'd probably see him hitting her in some way. Is that he actually had like super warded the book in case someone else other than him touched
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
And she was like aware of that even, but took the hit anyway.
Right, grabbing the burning coal, basically.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
And while we didn't set any visual thing for that, it all happened in a flash to where I'm like, ooh,
Yep.
I like that idea, because then it's another example of where she's like, no, because I don't want this to be the case.
Mm-hmm.
But she knows of Rem's existence. She knows, she's seen
Right, she
Rem.
has been told of Rem.
Well, right, but she's also seen Rem at this point now. But
Right.
it's just the idea that she doesn't have that connection. I don't want her to feel like, well, Rem doesn't need me then, so
Right,
I can just go and have this be my win, my wish.
The way I like to
And
think
this will be
about
my
it,
rewenge on Roswaal, in addition to showcasing my love for him. So it's
Right.
really complicated.
yeah, it's kind of the way I like to think of it is it's the revenge on the one who destroyed her village by
saving him from himself.
right, by declaring her love for him, basically. It's the there's a you that I believe in and there's a you that I don't believe in.
So
And
I'm
she
going to
said
kill
that
part of you.
right, exactly. And she mentioned that when she came to start this fight, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a version of you I'm getting revenge on.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But that's not everything you are.
Right.
I refuse to believe that.
Yeah. In fact, I just know it's not true. The thing that's probably going to be, if this worked, like if the book is actually destroyed, the thing that's probably going to be left is going to be so frail and fragile and just weak.
Well,
that if anything, like she might have already won.
She might have.
Like,
here's another thing I want to bring up. Okay. So, book getting destroyed by fire, right? Okay, yeah. Books
Love it.
generally are flammable, right? However, this is a very powerful book.
Oh yeah.
Right? This is a very powerful
true.
book. I would not be surprised
Yeah,
if this
some-
book was warded and would not be destroyed by any simple flames.
I agree. Yeah.
However, these aren't simple flames.
Mm-hmm.
These are flames of a very powerful wizard.
Mm-hmm.
These flames burn hot. Maybe hot enough to destroy a super magical book artifact.
Yeah, this is not just fire damage. This is magical fire damage.
Exactly. There is a part of this whole scene that I feel is so poetic.
Oh,
that
he destroyed it.
That he destroyed it.
Mm-hmm.
The literal repercussions, collateral damage of his own actions is to take away the very thing from himself that he most cherished.
That's wonderful. I love it.
And
so
along the way, he might also realize that maybe that shouldn't have been the thing that he most held dear.
I feel like if this was how it was sectioned in the light novels as well, that the writer was in the headspace of, the fire unintentionally burning the mansion down.
Right.
Oh, the fire of this wizard
being
the vehicle that was used to then destroy the book.
Also,
oh, okay.
Okay, Roswaal is a very powerful wizard, right? He could use all kinds of magic. He was using
we never know his limits.
No, right. We don't really know his limits, but we know as an example, just to show that he is not limited to the element of fire inherently. Yeah. He was bringing a blizzard, right? To bring the killer bunny rabbit, right?
Right, but that was a thing that he needed a whole bunch of other
stuff. Yeah, it was a big,
weather altering.
It was a big whole ritual thing. And
I need to cast for 10 minutes. Right. I need to set some things up.
Somebody hop it up.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
But the fact that he's using fire in this fight, I could totally see it. It could be something as simple as it's a great element for doing damage, max damage, right?
And he's dealing with Puck, the ice.
So Song of Ice and Fire. Let's do this, right?
Yeah, it's a good counter.
Exactly.
Puck, yeah.
But when I think about fire, as far as what it is, if I were to it's so poetic, and there's the whole thing of it destroying the book, but then also fire is fleeting, fire is constantly changing. There's all these different things that fire does, and it's is that maybe insight into Roswaal's personality or state of mind right here? Maybe. I'm probably reaching. But,
I think it's visually spectacular to see fire. Then it's against ice as well, so it's tactically makes sense.
And we have seen Roswaal use fire before.
Exactly. But. All right, so Subaru tried to go all Senku, and I love that you tried.
Yeah.
But I also love that Otto the Merchant just happens to have a massive storage of oil
flasks.
Then they burn basically the mansion down by doing this. And it's like, oh no, shit, the consequences of my actions.
That's just straight up
it's a D&D.
Most D&D parties before level 3. It's okay, oil flasks.
Yes. We killed the weird hag thing. That was a really good clever use. Okay, so now the bog and its fumes are combusting.
Sure.
And the trees are really actually kind of dry, so it's lighting up everything. You will need to crawl your way out of this. No!
Burning a tavern down is almost a rite of passage in D&D. So the fact that they did this with the actual merchant character and everything,
and also at the spot that was kind of their home zone, safe spot back throughout the majority of the show.
Right.
This is wonderful. All right. Garf, Elsa, fight was dramatic, wonderfully animated, really good stuff. The hippo's head getting twisted and ripped off.
That was great.
It was incredible. I was astonished by how much focus and time they gave to the fight. That was really good.
I also got to say that as far as ways to kill a vampire, if you have a being that can regenerate like crazy, well, I was thinking vampire. Okay, that's a good mechanic for why she's regenerating.
Right.
So are we going to do stake through the heart, garlic, something like that, holy water?
For sure.
But no, it's just, if I get a thing that's really, really big, see, because you regenerate...
Heckin'.
You regenerate in the same place that you were, of wherever your body is. It's not like your body moves somewhere else to regenerate. So if I take something that is bigger than your entire body and it crushes you, you can't really regenerate because your cells can't push the hippo off of you to heal. So you're just done.
You just crushed.
And it's okay.
And then fire will come in and do the rest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was a light little thing that seemed to touch potentially on Pandora, where he was there was a witch that was a
oh yeah, there was a vampire and she ended up getting killed.
I don't think that's necessarily Pandora, but Pandora was pale white. So
that's true. Although
probably
Emilia
not.
is too, and
But let's talk about Emilia, because holy crap, is this her mom?
I think so.
Minerva.
And that's
the Witch of Wrath.
That is curious because
I think it makes sense.
I think it makes sense, right?
We thought she was potentially the distant daughter of Satala,
right? And it's still okay, daughter of a witch. It's okay,
daughter
cool,
of a witch,
cool. But then also, even if the witches are 400 years old or whatever, right? Doesn't mean they can't still get it on and have kids, right?
Right, exactly.
So okay, all right, and they were very much showing, that Minerva had human ears, and then also showing Emilia's years and things like that. And okay.
So could it be that the brother of Fortuna, the dad for Emilia, is a descendant also of Satella, and that she's the bloodlines of two witches?
That is a good point. Given the fact, okay, so if Minerva is Emilia's mom, but witches can be hundreds of years old,
and she doesn't necessarily have to be the mom. It was just the vibe we got based on the way that
it seemed like it was implying it. Don't look at me. The fact that she started tearing up.
I know who your mom is.
Right. She responded so strongly when Emilia said, "Mother Fortuna is my mother."
Yeah. Also, we had a mechanic brought up earlier in the season about occupying this space basically.
Oh.
So the idea that Minerva is like, I'm here, no one else is here, feels very much like no, I want to be here and have this conversation.
Like no one had a talk and was like, give me space with my daughter.
Exactly.
Yeah. But given the fact that she's 400 years old, theoretically, you could have some really crazy shenanigans happening with descendants of the witches.
Wait, 400 years old for who?
Because the witches were 400 years ago, right? And then I guess she doesn't technically have to be 400 years old, but I'm pretty sure that was strongly implied by the fact that the whole stuff with Echidna and Roswaal was 400 years ago, and these witches were always talked about as like a group together. So, at the very least, Minerva would be of a comparable age, right?
Yeah.
But if you have beings that can live for centuries and they keep having kids, that can make complicated things happen if theoretically different generations of descendants could end up getting hitched, because like a first generation descendant of Minerva, say Emilia, right? Minerva could have ended up getting hitched to one of the distant descendants of like Satella.
Yeah, that's my thought.
Right, yeah.
That's why she looks like Satella. But isn't actually Satella's, daughter, but she is a descendant of Satella's. But this is her mother here.
Right.
I loved the part where she was like, my mother is Mother Fortuna. And they don't show the face of Minerva, but we can tell that she's crying. Yep. And then Emilia's like, wait, are you crying? And she's like, no, I'm not crying. I don't cry. I don't have the right to cry now. And it's just, I don't have the right to cry now. Like, that is such a good line to basically have a person acknowledge that they understand where they screwed up, but they're just so happy to see that their child is just doing so well.
And then Emilia's like, nobody needs to have the right to cry, and then
and then I think Emilia potentially understands.
I think so. Yep.
But then just the idea of, okay, remember the whole thing with Subaru, where his mother met him at the end of of his little jaunt into the past and what have you. And she was the final one to kind of send him off to be like, okay, now cross the railroad tracks. Go into the next stage of things. You don't need me anymore. I send you off with all my love and all my care, but you're going to do just fine. I really feel like this is the moment for that, but for Emilia, for someone who had a much worse, in a lot of ways, past, Emilia comparatively to Subaru's.
Sure, yeah.
But just the idea that Emilia probably will see her mother again.
Possibly. Yeah, there's a good
unlike
chance.
Subaru, who could just never leave this fantasy world.
Right. I mean, who knows? Maybe the story will end with Subaru going back home.
Well, yeah, that's what we'd hope, right?
Yeah.
But
okay.
Yeah. What was the question that she asked at the end? Oh yeah, she's like, if you could see Echidna, tell her that I want to have a tea party with her.
Right. Which I love. That's great.
And I also love how she says, hey, witch, basically like, we're going to keep the pretense up a little bit. Now, Emilia might just not know, and that's okay.
Sure.
But I just love the way Minerva gets so excited about this. Just the idea of,
with you and the
I
other
get to be there too.
Yeah.
And then she just barely holding back the tears. Like,
it felt like it felt like kind of an indirection of, hey, I want to keep in touch. I want to hang out again because apparently you're my mom, but I'm not going to talk about how you're my mom because, you've established that you don't want to open that box just yet, right?
Right. And also, this might be just Emilia being really smart, but the other witches might not be cluing into what's going on, and yet they might be able to observe what happens in this space.
Sure.
And it might not be safe.
Although, if they can observe what's happening in the space, they probably also put 2 and 2 together.
Oh, really?
Like,
all of them?
Okay, if they can observe what's in this space, I can imagine that they don't really have much of anything better to do. So I'm picturing them all like sitting around basically the reality TV, like the television, watching the reality show, and just being like, okay.
They're like us. They're like discussing. They're like,
oh.
my theory, and it's like, oh my God, Carmilla, like, would you shut up about your theories?
And then Gluttony's just like, tell me what's happening. But yeah.
Oh my God.
Anywho.
I love though that Echidna didn't show up here because she doesn't like Emilia.
Right.
But 2, that is Echidna attached in stasis.
Snow White style.
Snow White kind of glass casket box, but with spell ley lines, runes coming out of her.
I love the visuals for that so much.
Such a cool visual.
But
wasn't this whole like search for immortality kind of like experiments?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I get the feeling it wasn't immortality so much as it was time muckery and all that. But because you know, if the witches,
but that's the same thing in a way, right?
No, because you're still stuck in one point in time. Like even if you're immortal, right? You can't necessarily turn back the clock.
No. But I'm saying that like, okay, sure. I get what you're saying. I'm just, it's gonna take too long to explain what I was trying to say.
Gotcha. But they did a lot of lingering on Echidna's body, where it was like, and like not showing her face and things like that. And then like after Emilia left the room, like hanging on Echidna for just a little bit longer than they needed to, maybe. Now, and it's like,
the other thing though is that why does she not know that this is Echidna? She says, who is this?
That's the other thing that's curious.
Did Echidna mess with her memory once she finished the trials? And was like, oh,
maybe.
So you don't know actually who I am anymore.
You know, that's possible.
Emilia could just have been...
Right, it's like she could see the face, even though the audience isn't shown the face.
Yeah.
Which again is one of those things.
We know who this is. It's showing us everything.
Right, everything except the face. So like...
Except she goes, who is this?
Right, so that would make it seem like it's not Echidna.
But it is.
But that's totally Echidna.
That's totally Echidna.
Yeah.
Now, the way they could twist it, in a really clever way here, is that the face is very different. And I mean very different.
Oh, okay.
And then it's a garb and similar look to Echidna. And this would be really, really screwed up. But what if it's Roswaal who made someone in this form here to look like Echidna?
Okay.
But it's not her.
I think I understand a bit of the reasoning, I think, of why the show was doing this possibly.
Okay.
So Emilia doesn't remember Echidna because she's outside of the trial now, memory's wiped or whatever, right?
Echidna did something upon her re-entry.
Exactly. Precedent has been set for that. That's fairly standard procedure from what we've seen, right? Sometimes Echidna makes exceptions, but that's kind of the vanilla, right?
Yeah.
The reason why it's important that Emilia doesn't recognize her is because then she leaves her body unattended. Once the spell is broken, there's a very good chance, like
she'll just get up.
She'll just get up, right? And we were expecting that to happen. I
thought it would happen right there when she broke the thing, and then she just
I thought there would like a hand would like come up and like clasp hers or something, or we'd see her when we were seeing her face that there would be like this little like corner of a smile, right? But no, and Emilia just left,
right?
Because
she has no attachment.
She has no attachment to who this is. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
But we do. We do. So
the butterfly being shown and the little clasp there, all the stuff with the
exactly
the hair, the eyebrows and stuff. We are like, this is Echidna. We know.
And then we can just come back later and Emilia will be like, oh, I thought there was a body here or something.
Oh, whatever.
Weird. You know, like.
And then Super will be like, wait, what was the body? Yeah, it's like,
can you?
It's not important. It was a very beautiful lady with white hair and a black dress,
bushy eyebrows, and kind of like a
no.
Right? Yeah.
Because this is the part that's weird. Echidna feels like she's been machinating and manipulating everything from the background.
Yep.
But we don't know why.
Exactly.
The little backstory that we got where they were dealing with, I said his name earlier, Hector, coming to, like, attack her, coming to take her or do something. And Roswell's like, no, I will defend and stuff. And then we get the Beatrice Yuzuru stuff, and that was wonderful. But that was all just hard cut.
Right, we didn't actually see the result of what happened from Echidna going out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So is that going to be the next episode? Is that
I do.
With Roswell having lost the book, we're going to get like the completed Roswell backstory? Like
maybe.
I would really like that because
Me too.
The idea that Echidna, this might be her game. Like this might have been her game the whole time.
Yeah. If there's another witch that's top dog in your timeline, well, why not just go into a stasis and go to a point where eventually she'll get defeated by the world? Until then, you put up a barrier so that she can't come in here and disrupt your slumber, and then eventually you'll wake up and then
like,
I really was born in the wrong time.
Yep.
This is much more my style.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, we think so much alike. And then, oh goody. Yeah. Oh goody. Of all the characters introduced in season 2, she's 100% my favorite.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, absolutely. Her potential in terms of where she could go plot-wise, but also character-wise, with a really weird, complex motivations.
Oh,
I want this to be, like, not just some doll that Roswell's set up, not some, like, thing where she needs, something additional to, like, wake up or something like that, which she might actually need, and that's why she didn't stir here, is it's not just that the spell needs to be broken. Maybe, like, everyone needs to leave the sanctuary. Sure. Like, there cannot be any weird idea.
Is that where the bunny's being brought?
The bunnies.
To clear everybody out?
Wait. What do the bunnies do again?
They eat shit.
Yeah, but they specifically eat, like, they go after magic.
Yes, they're drawn to magic.
They're drawn to magic.
Yeah. And that's why there was the whole weather thing to make it snow so that the bunnies are, nice and comfortable.
Right. So then also we're still catching up to where Amelia is when she exits the trial.
Exactly. I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a half-assed theory, so I'm going to hold it off for now. But okay.
Yeah, also I think Ram's dead.
Yeah.
And
she could be.
The fact that it was done that quickly,
you better get Ram out of there.
I'm not sure whether I want her to be dead or not because I definitely don't want her to be dead, but at the same time, damn Ram, like damn girl. So I kind of don't want to take away from her sacrifice by making it be like, oh yeah, it wasn't even necessarily too much of a sacrifice because I came out of it okay anyways. You know?
No, come on, that was really hard for her.
Oh no,
that was really hard for her.
And at the same time, it was easy because she would never do anything different.
But yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. It was a wonderful episode. So if you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there. And all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. And also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.